Welcome everyone, and thanks for turning up. There's only one real purpose of today's session, and that is to talk about the succession planning in TFMC. Given the inability for TFMC, it seems to keep anything confidential or keep a secret, I suspect that quite a few of you knew about this already and perhaps even know what I'm going to say. To get straight to the point and to cut a long story short, what we have done is appointed Dukes Zondi to be the next CEO. This is my recommendation to the TFMC board. It's my personal recommendation to Movella. It's been adopted at a TFMC board meeting this Monday, and Dukes will take over the CEO role from the 1st of July. So, now, perhaps I ought to put that statement in the context of the criteria that we took into account in coming to the decision. I mean, Dukes and I have worked quite closely together now for the 3 years since that he has been appointed. When he first joined us in January 2004, his first task was, on my behalf, to go and meet all the senior guys in telecom to start building a relationship at that level. So he very quickly got a strategic overview of TFMC and gave us invaluable, at that time, independent or new insights into how we were doing. Dukes has been an integral part of the negotiating team with Telcom over the last 2 years or so, and I am sure that he has learnt a lot from that, and he has been a great strength to me and to the negotiating team with his style. You may not be aware, but in the latter part of the negotiations and in the knowledge that transition would be coming over time, I backed away from being in the front line of those, and Dukes has attended to that along with our lawyer. We also have, as directors, have been away and had a strategic bus parade, and we've been looking at the strategic planning, and Dukes has had a lot to do with that. So in making this appointment, we are also doing it in the context of setting a 3-year strategic plan, which Dukes will convey to you in due course. It is not yet finished, but as and when we present our strategic plan to Movella, which we have to do before the start of their financial year in the 1st of July, then soon thereafter, or at that time, we can present it to all of you. So I mean, that's the long and the short of what I've got to say. The main purpose of this meeting is for Dukes to introduce to you and convey to you his thoughts and beliefs and style in terms of leadership. And so what I'm going to do now is just turn the floor over to Dukes. Thank you.
Good morning, colleagues. I have been wondering, why me? Now I know, and thank you, Will, for explaining why me, because it's been quite a big question with me. I was very, very humbled by the appointment, and I must say that I had to think long and hard, but what really drove me was my commitment to the company, and what finally persuaded me was the commitment, particularly of the team, the board of directors, and the support that they indicated I was going to get from them. So I must thank my colleagues, and there was a little session yesterday to talk about this to the executives of the company, and I was again humbled by the support and the pledges of further support that I got from them, and thank you very much. So I stand in front of you here with very little fear that we can drive this process forward successfully, and I'm going to get genuine support from my fellow colleagues. So thank you very much for that. I guess a State of the Nation address is in order. So I think Will has emphasized one thing in particular, that there is need for continuity. TFMC is a successful company, and TFMC has got lots of potential to continue to be successful. And the need for continuity is therefore paramount. I will be talking to you about what will continue, starting with the good news first. And then later on, I will talk about what I believe should change, which might not be so good news, but it stays to be seen. Will talked about a strategy that we developed at the last session that we had of our post-parade at Bass Lake. I'm going to touch on that. It is not necessarily a new strategy, but it is a refined strategy that we've always had. I believe that the vision of the company is good. The mission and values are very sound and have taken this company to where it is today. And I believe that shouldn't change. Of course, as Will said, change does become inevitable, especially if someone has been doing the job for over 5 years. So I would like to talk about what I believe should be changing in terms of priorities and emphasis. Again, I don't believe that there is much new that you can expect out of that. And probably tell you a little bit about my leadership style, if you do believe me. I hope you will. This is not me saying it, but this is what is generally acceptable in business. And it comes out of the Institute of Directors, which all of us would know formulated and guided the corporate governance process, as well as reports, the various reports that we've had in this country. I subscribe to the role of a chief executive as stated there. And I want to make sure that we all understand what this role is, and therefore that the expectations that you will have of me are in context and hopefully reasonable. This is just to say more on the role again. And what this says is that it defines the role of the chief executive as a leading role much more than a management role. There are management aspects of it, but most of it is leadership. I therefore hope to lead and do less managing, particularly because I've got confidence in you and I trust you. So who is this character that you've been landed with? My leadership beliefs. I want to believe that I'm a born team player. In most of the roles that I've played in my life, they've all been based on teamwork. I really do believe that people do things because they want to do them, and people associate themselves with certain things because they want to do that. And therefore, it is, for me, better to work in teams. I've got very few heroes in my life. I simply just don't believe in people trying to prove a point and trying to depict themselves as heroes. Therefore, I've got very few people in my life, but I've met many team members in my life. I believe that people join an organization and stay in an organization as much as many of you have in this organization because they've got something to contribute. And therefore, I believe that everybody should participate. It is my belief that you don't have to be an extraordinary person to achieve extraordinary goals. For me, ordinary people of all races, if they are prepared to work together, they can achieve extraordinary goals. It's been proven in this country before. So I cannot understand why we cannot do it at TFMC. For me, TFMC is paramount, not individuals. I think we as individuals should form a team that is behind the goals of the organization. I'm not saying that people should not achieve by themselves. I think people should achieve. But people should achieve within those teams. People should not seek to achieve in order to undermine others. They should seek to achieve in order for TFMC to achieve its goals. And we've got many stakeholders. And our success depends on satisfying all the stakeholders. Paramount to them all are customers. Our customers are kings to us. But how do we serve those kings? How do we continue to make our customers believe that they are kings? We use our staff. It is our staff that gives our customers the experience that they get that satisfies them. We've got our shareholders who should continue supporting us because some of the ventures that we will go into I'm trying to look for a proper word, but are going to be difficult ventures. We will move into uncharted waters, as you all know that we are seeking opportunities in international markets. Our shareholders must be confident that we can do it. And we must therefore satisfy our shareholders so that they could be confident that we can actually move into uncharted waters. Our suppliers, we've got a number of suppliers. We've got a fairly active supply chain. Those are faces of TFMC to our customers. We've got suppliers who supply us with equipment. So all those are stakeholders to us, and we must treat them in a way that they are satisfied to associate and continue working with us. So what is it that I believe should continue? This company is where it is today because right from the beginning, TFMC clarified the values that needed to drive the company and guide the company. It was quite an uncertain environment that TFMC was getting into. And setting out a vision, a mission, and the rich values right from the beginning, for me, was the best foundation that TFMC could actually put for themselves. And it is what it has taken you here. You probably are wondering, why is Dukes talking about the simple things that are perceived as soft issues? Where are the clever things that many people believe drive a business? I really believe that the business is driven by the soft and simple things, not by the difficult things, not by the clever things. You know, the clever things actually add to the business's success. But if your foundation is wrong, if those issues are wrong, I do not believe that the business can be successful on a sustainable basis. we all understand what our values are. We all know what they are. But do we live them? Are we sure that we treat people with integrity? Are we sure that we care for other people? Are we sure that we are honest in the way that we approach our work, in the way that we interact with others, in the way that we support others? Do we live our values, or are they just very nice words printed on boards that are hanging on the wall, and we walk past them and not even know what we're walking past? For me, the rich values that we have are paramount in the way that we do work and in the way that we interact and treat each other, as well as other stakeholders. Do we really know what we mean by them? There was a study conducted in the USA amongst the largest companies that had been successful for more than 25 years. Talking about companies like Coca-Cola, Motorola, and all those top international brands. And it was found that the companies that were more committed, that understood, lived, and were more committed to their values have sustained their success much, much longer than their competitors who did not do the same. I'm talking about a practical situation. I'm not talking about a theory. It actually happened. And for me, respecting, understanding, and living rich values is going to be very, very important for the company. We all know what our vision is. We still want to see ourselves as an African company. This is where we made our mark. This is where we've made our successes. But we still want to use the knowledge that we've gained out of our experience in Africa in other markets, particularly telecoms markets. We're saying that specialist international markets, we are saying specifically in the telecoms arena, because that is where we can prove that we know what we're doing and we have done something successful. So we are an African company, but we do believe that we can enter into the international market. We have done it. We've made a short list of the bidders for Australia. We're actually shortlisted in Australia until they decided to move in a different direction. We've been into Malaysia. We've made a short list in Malaysia, and we understand that after they had put their bid aside, they are now looking at resuscitating it, and therefore we'll re-enter that market. We have been to Etisalat in the United Arab Emirates. We are talking to Deutsche Telekom. So we have got big ideas because we are successful in our own turf. And people can ask us any question they like to ask us. We can show that we are successful here. Our mission. There's everything correct about it. It should stay. It should still guide us. But let us all be clear what it is. It is not just words. It is not simply just words. Let us fully understand what it is. Let us live by these principles. That is what we mean by winning through our people. That is what our rich values are saying we should be doing in terms of our people. And that is what our mission that supports that is telling us. Customers are king. We've already said that. But what do we mean by customer satisfaction and making it a reality? Are we informing our customers? Are we exceeding the SLAs? That should always be the guiding principles that are encompassed in our mission, not just that we have a mission. Can we secure our long-term future? I believe we can. But more so if we understand that we're in a very, very competitive market. And therefore, our internal strategic initiatives of benchmarking and the rest should make us competitive in the market if we are to secure our long-term future. World-class competencies. We're working with a world-class company, Telkom, and others. We having SAA coming into the fold. We're working with world-class companies, and therefore we've got to be a world-class supporter or partner of those companies. And we have achieved that. We are definitely trying to improve our base of blue chip customers. We want to be selective. We don't want to get into everything because we know what we are good at. Employment equity. And highest levels of corporate governance and probity. Our customers must be confident that we are running a professional company based on professional processes and systems. They must know that they are putting their money and their confidence in a company that has got the highest standards of probity. But our employees as well should understand that we've got systems that can sniff out fraudsters amongst us. It's happening, and I believe that should stay. I've already said that customer is king. This may sound repetitive, but it is something that I believe we should always have in our minds. We must earn the right to retain the work. Will has spoken about a negotiation that has been going on for about 2 years now with Telkom. There are many reasons why it has gone on for so long. But there's one very good reason why we're still remaining there. It's because we've earned our right to retain the work. We have performed. And it's very, very difficult to say that we have not. Performance management. We believe that everybody amongst us and each one of us has got something to contribute. There are definitely differentials in terms of skills and in terms of experience. But if we have got a good performance management system, we can actually enhance those skills, we can enhance that experience, as long as we apply our performance management with integrity, with all the values that we espouse with the company. Customers change and customers' demands change, but we must always keep our customers satisfied, or at least try to. It is not quite possible to have customers satisfied 100%, not in the service function. But we must strive to do that, to have sufficient satisfaction amongst our customers. Innovation and productivity. The business cannot survive by doing the same things all the time. The business will only grow if we innovate, The business will only grow if we grow it through our proactivity. We want to retain the contracts that we have because we have selected them appropriately and they are good for us. But we also want to get more contracts. And I think we should continue doing that. We have had a number of strategic initiatives internally to continuously strengthen our business and to continuously improve what we do for our customers. We should continue doing those. We should continue innovating. I read a book some time back, and when looking at the strategic initiatives within TFMC, I was actually reminded of what Darwin said, that innovating is forever. Or innovating forever is a design specification. It is not a strategy, but a requirement. So it's a sine qua non to the business. It should be part of your business forever. Otherwise, you will be left behind. And I think we should continue doing that. We should strive to execute these strategic initiatives, not just to talk about them, not just to have high-sounding words that seem very, very clever, but are not executed to the benefit of both our customers and our business growth. Somebody actually said something which I thought was quite clever, that good ideas and strategies, if they are not properly executed, they fail. But even mediocre ideas and strategies, if properly executed, they succeed. So execution of these strategies is paramount as far as I'm concerned. And that's what we should strive to do. Risk management, very, very high priority. If we look at people, we are competing. I think Will said that we used headhunters to try and fill his position. Competition was fairly high, fairly tight. We are in the service industry, in the FM business. The construction market currently in South Africa is very buoyant, particularly going towards 2010. It might continue to be buoyant after 2010. Maybe 2010 has just given it the fillip it required to move on. So we need to make sure that we keep our people. We attract and retain the right people. We are competitive out there. Our customers' changing demands. We've spoken about that. And what about our long-term future, as well as shareholders? All that, I believe, will continue and should continue. And we must always be aware that TFMC wants to achieve that. Why should all these things continue? I say it's because they are the foundation. All these things that we've spoken about are the foundation of TFMC's success. We've invested in the company in the various areas. We've improved processes. We continue to strive to do more with less. We use a life cycle focus, hence we are in the business and in the market segment that we are in. We've successfully used our strategic plans. We believe in partnering relationships, as much as some of our customers, if I could confess, really don't understand what partnerships are. So we will continue to impress upon themselves what partnerships are made of. I said there is some not so good news I also want to speak about. Certain things have got to change. I think we must get more and more into team leadership. We are building a team at the director level. And as far as I can see, it's going very well. We hope to see more and more teamwork at the various levels of the company. Emphasis on business growth. We definitely want to grow the business. We've said that before. So we're going to be putting more emphasis than we have been doing previously. We're going to be more robust. We're going to have a more fighting spirit in this area because of the experiences that we've had in the past. We definitely are going to be rewarding good performance, not that we have not been. But we will focus on good performance and will definitely manage poor performance. So what we are saying is that we will try and keep the people that respond to our efforts to reward good performance, and we'll part ways with those that do not respond to our efforts. I battled with this one. I tried to define my style. I'm not quite sure I did very well, but I hope you believe this. I believe I'm firm but fair. I have said that I'm a team player, and therefore I believe that everybody should participate, but everybody should play their part. And I believe that there will be situations where experience and skills might be short. Therefore, we all need to support in those types of areas. We need to play to each other's strengths and try and develop those that have got weaknesses in certain areas. The third one really means I kick butt with a smile. I believe in organizing people and resources. You can't expect people to achieve if you don't organize them properly and resource them appropriately. I believe that we should be thinking big, but not try to be heroes, because recklessness comes with people that try to be heroes. We must think big in order to grow the company, because competition is tight out there. So we must not think small, because we'll be left behind. But thinking big does not mean being reckless and getting into things that you believe are going to make you a hero. And I believe that each one of us can teach the next person. I've learned a lot, even at my age, since I've been with TFMC. And I believe that there's still a lot to be learned. And none of us can know everything. What about business growth? We have looked at different opportunities, and we've approached different opportunities in different ways. And we have looked at what has made us successful and what has made us fail in certain areas. And as a board, we've come to the realization that we need to sharpen our marketing and sales expertise. We need to approach business more and more in a commercial way, and we need to sharpen our business acumen. It's not saying that we don't have it, otherwise we wouldn't be here, otherwise we wouldn't be this successful. But we need to augment that. Negotiating skills. That's not a reflection of Will and I taking 2 years to negotiate with Telkom. But it does say that we need more and more skilled negotiators. We had a short session 2 days ago where the guys from the from procurement were getting their certificates, and the course that they did had a lot to do with negotiating skills, and some people got 100%. I was actually very, very pleased, because I know what has happened to Will and I during negotiations with Telkom. I now know that we've got a lot of support within the business. We need to understand our market much better, and we need to invest in time and effort that is required for us to chase these opportunities. That slide you've seen before, that analysis and evaluation of how we are positioned was brought to us by a guy called Professor David Parkinson. Can't find him in the audience here, but we have tended to concentrate on opportunities in that area, mainly because our current contract, for which we are so successful, is located in that area. We have tried to look in this area for opportunities that we can take up to that area, but there aren't many of them. And there aren't many more opportunities here. We've spoken about Transnet, and I've told you that we were this close 2 years ago. I can still tell you that we are still this close. But you do get certain problems here in terms of the availability of such opportunities and the decision-making things that actually take place there. So we are going to be widening our scope and chasing opportunities that are down there. But we're going to be selective. In order to do that, we have made sure that we are clear in our minds what we are going to be faced with. We've therefore segmented the market and the opportunities that we want to chase. We'll produce this slide for the analysts and our shareholders. And they were asking questions such as, how are you going to make sure that you sustain what you have and you grow the business? And we'll proudly display that. And they were satisfied that we know what we are talking about and know what we're doing. So we are going to be putting a lot of emphasis, guided by clearly defined market segments. Performance management. I have said that our business needs to continue having the KPIs and benchmarks that make us competitive out there in the market, that guide us to higher performance. But we must also look at the PDMS level, at the employee level, at our level. We need to make sure that we develop the skills that need to be developed. We provide opportunities for people to perform, and we provide opportunities for people to leave if they can't perform. And there's going to be a lot of emphasis on that. I believe that we have been fairly kind to each other, and we have carried people who have never put the company first. We've carried people that have been very selfish and did not respect the values that we have, and therefore have not put in the effort that is required. I believe we need to manage such people out. I also tried to think, I mean, you guys probably have got much better insight into the business and more experience than I have. I was battling to think what is our core, what are we selling, what is it that we think we are doing, and what is it that when we wake up and prepare ourselves to go to work we think about. I think we need to have a common goal that is crystal clear to all of us as to what the business really wants to do. And I stole this from another book that I read, which said that if you are deeply passionate about something, if you know that you can be good at that thing, and if you know that that thing can be profitable for you, then that thing is what should be your goal. It's just a thought that I thought I should share with you, that we must find a common goal. We must be driven by a common goal. Otherwise, we are not going to grow the business. Otherwise, we're not going to add value. Instead, we'll destroy value that we've created in this business. I think TFMC will be great. It's a good company, but I think it can be a great company. And I'm putting a 3-year target to 2010. That's the target that I believe we should strive for. So I'm sure all of you, as I said before, are wondering why Dukes is talking about simple things. Where is this clever stuff? I promise you, Nikki, Rob, and Sbusiso will do the clever things, and they'll still be here after July when Will is gone. So don't worry that I've not spoken about the clever things. The clever people will still be here with us. Thank you very much.